All right. Hi, everyone. Stephen and Contrara with Compassionate Finance. And we're back at you with another episode of Outstanding Balance. This is episode 5. This is kind of called Full Stack Dental Practice. What that means, we'll kind of find that out later. It's something I want to bounce off our expert, Dr. Baird. And we have an awesome guest today, too. Dr. Paul Goodman from Dental Nachos is joining us. So I'm going to turn it over to them, and they're going to have a killer conversation that you're going to want to watch. So, Dr. Baird, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. A little bummed out that Dak Prescott's ankle got busted yesterday. But it's going to be a long season anyway. It looks like the NFC East is going to be kind of an interesting place to be. So I know my buddy Paul's in Philly, so yeah. It's like welcome to our show, Paul. Thanks for
the NFC football has made it where it creates a lot of excitement no matter what. So it's like, my team's 2-4, your team's 1-5. They both can win the division. So
yeah. We can
respect that about them.
I know. It's crazy. I was afraid Cowboys were going to end up with one tie yesterday, and then here we go. Anyway, but thank you again for being on with us, and wanted to kind of ask you a little bit about how did you come up with the nacho?
Thanks.
idea?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I was always I started something called the Rising Dentist Study Club in 2005. And its mission statement was to get a group of dentists together early in their career so they wouldn't hate each other later. How could we get together, get to know each other? My dad was a dentist guy, chance to work with him for 11 years, amazing dentist, dad and mentor, passed away a few years ago, but he worked with a partner and they always worked together. So to me, all this dental student Hunger Games, dentists competing over stuff that didn't matter, really bothered me. And I wanted to create an environment where dentists could share authentically. And we did this in Philadelphia. In the olden days of 2005, I would mail out paper flyers. We'd meet at Italian restaurants. I do CE, and I really loved it. And that kind of evolved into what Dental Nachos has become in 2017. I picked this name. I always have nachos on me. I have to. I can't live. I have to, live up to my name. Nachos have a lot of topping. My awesome wife, Mary, Mrs. Nacho, helped me come up with it. So I thought of it as like broker, speaker, dentist, coach, teacher. I have a lot of toppings, and nachos are meant to be shared. They can be messy, but they're always fun to get. So that's how they came up, and the name really took off.
Oh, I love it. We have a lot of similar interests. I started a group called the New Dentist Alliance back in '95, awesome. And spoke in 42 dental schools.
That's awesome.
Over a period of a year, had more fun, and now my nephew, there's a dentist, and I think and at a dentist, his son's now there, and they invited me to come speak to a time with. So we met. I think Paul's frozen.
You froze up on me a little, Bruce, but I can hear you. I don't know if Stephen, can you hear me okay? Or
I'm hearing you. I heard a little break up there, Dr. Baird, but I think we're catching up. And sometimes in the recording, once it's done, everything is crystal clear.
Yeah.
I just want to reframe that real quick.
Yeah, sure. I heard about your nephew there, Dr. Baird. I just didn't hear after that. I was listening to it, but I just didn't hear you come through.
Yeah, no worries. But yeah, they speak to freshman class, and he's kind of the leader in the freshman class kind of deal, getting everybody together, and met all of his buds. So really, really awesome experience to get to go down with him. And,
What I find, Dr. Baird, is you just need to take a dentist and you need to put them in front of these groups. Once they're in front of the group, they do awesome, right? Once they're in front of the younger dentists, they do great.
Dental school and kind of the new. I went to dental school. Part is it was a dental school. Well, now I've Stephen, you have to come on.
I might be losing a little, Dr. Baird. Sorry, I don't know if it's me. Yeah. Stephen, is it me or you want me to? I can hear you okay when you pop on. No. Can you hear me okay?
Dr. Baird, you maybe want to jump out and rejoin? Oh, it looks like that's happening.
Yeah. I can entertain people while we go. Here are some of the things that I have around me at all times. I'm a huge fan of their Abella system. We're using it in our office, key resource and sponsor, because it helps me be less annoyed each day. This is my motto in life. circle of annoyance. I like to stay on the outside of the circle of annoyance. So people say, what are your goals? This is my goals. What's my core value? This is my core value. Not to be annoyed each day.
That is great stuff. And I remember the first time I heard of Dental Nachos, I was sitting at 6 Month Smiles talking to somebody about Facebook groups and just cool stuff that was happening. And one of my coworkers goes, have you heard of Dental Nachos? I was like, that's not a thing. And then I was like, this is the greatest place. This is like
thanks.
Humor, witticism, awesome content.
And it's really for everybody. I appreciate you saying, Stephen. I mean, Dental Nachos is about bringing your people's first. You bring your who you are first, your dental self second. Whether you're a rep, whether you work for a bank, whether you're an assistant, it's about people being people attached to dentistry. And this is one of our core shirts for Dental Nachos. And when you wear this around, if you have a shirt, it is funny. And I didn't know this. People will ask you questions and about it, and it's kind of a fun conversation piece because they just say, what is Dental Nachos? Sometimes nice enough, but then you get a chance to say it's a place for dentists and the dental people to hang out, get to know each other. I always say, have you ever thought about how your dentist felt? Most people are like, no, I haven't. I'm like, well, maybe you should ask him sometime.
Yeah, exactly. I have my do good compassion.
I like that
shirt on. We are do gooders at heart for sure. We'll have to do a jersey swap one of these days, you know, at
sure.
If they're ever in person again. And it looks like Dr. Baird's back. How are you doing, Baird?
I'm back on. I don't know if it's a better signal or not. You guys hear me better?
I can see. I can see now. It just was going slow at a certain point, but let's try it this way.
Yeah, let's do it.
Perfect.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. So anyway, so you guys, I heard before I cut off, you guys were talking about Abella. So what has your response been to Abella?
I mean, what's been great for me is, and I always say that, hey, my goal in life as a practice owner is to do one thing.
Stephen, I'm going to let you do the interview because apparently we're having some internet problems.
Yeah, no problem. I would like to share. So my goal, Stephen and Bruce, even awesome, is to cry less on the inside each day. That's my goal. Just cry less on the inside. As a practice owner, so many opportunities. Keep your crying inside. And one of them is money, because here's one of the things that's so frustrating about dentistry. It's not about making the most amount of money or having the most amount of money, but it is about getting paid for your full contact arts and crafts. So when you have completed a full contact arts and crafts project, it could be an occlusal composite for $120. You know the sweat and the effort that goes into it. When you don't get paid, it's a challenge. So Abella has done awesome things where I say it's like, if you're a golfer, it's like going from a wooden driver of collections to, you know, an advanced driver we have today. You hit the ball further with the same swing. I mean, Steve, we have an awesome patient care coordinator, Kate, who, you know, is just shocked at how amazing it works. And this is someone who's already good at collecting money, but things fall through the cracks. We just sent it out a couple of weeks ago and we get, you know, messages back from the text. Oh, I didn't know I had a balance. I want to pay it. Just people who, I mean, I'm sure there's some vendor that has a balance on me out there that I'm not sure of. And if I knew I owed $50, I would pay it. So to me, it's been an awesome way to have more fun, feel a little bit better about what we're doing during the pandemic.
Absolutely. And I'm on the patient side of that thing. And I had my doctor, I think it was maybe an $18 for the switch out of a filling that was just hanging out there for 6 months. And I said, Dr. Lowe, you just got to use Abella. I would have paid you.
Yes.
You know, months and months ago had I known, but yeah, it is those phone calls, it is those kind of letters in the mail that kind of go to the wayside. But and just from a patient side, now that he does use that, I am able to just one touch clear my balance. I mean, like low touch. I'm a convenient person. I would pay every bill if they just sent me a press of a button. I could just pay it. Like the second thing.
It's such a good point. I mean, other companies. I mean, I have, you know, the Dental Nachos company, my dental company, other stuff. And like, I'm opening mail still during this pandemic because people aren't even in the office. And I put something down, you know, I open it, I put it down. And I say, oh, did I even tell my bookkeeper we had this bill? It's more challenging than people think to pay bills. And why do you want to spend extra time paying them anyway? They're not exactly fun. I mean, the other day, don't want to brag, on Sunday night, I was handwriting some bills, putting them in the envelope myself, putting them in the mailbox, because it was the only way to get it done, especially during a pandemic. I used to have this system where somebody would come in and get my bills and pay them, but it's not as easy now. So it's just another great reason to make this, how I always feel, to make yourself feel less like this inside, right? Make yourself feel, Abella is like adding nachos to this experience. And I mean, I say this, whether a company's a sponsor, whether I've just heard of them, I always like to share good ideas. And it's just mind-boggling to me why anyone would not utilize this, because it helps the patient, it helps the office, and decreases stress.
Yeah, it really does. It does supercharge that office manager or whoever you have, licking those envelopes and sending them out, or those phone calls that don't get answered. And it's a better bill paying solution than typing in and saying like, press 1 to do this, press 2 to,
For sure.
it's like instantaneous exchange of money. It really is good stuff.
And I want to share a story with you and Dr. Baird, if you can, but like, this is a funny one. One of my best friends from dental school has a very, very humble guy, but very nice practice in New York City, totally fee for service. He bought it, was fee for service. He'd tell you that he's very fortunate to have the life that he has as a dentist. Doesn't mean it's easy. So I said, you don't need Abella probably. We have a text chain. And I said, you got to use this. My brother's on it. And I said to him, I won't say his name on the air. I'll just make it up. I'll say, Bill, you don't need Abella because you're fee for service. You know what he said? He goes, let me see what that is. Cause even me, stuff falls through the cracks, right? So it doesn't matter if you take 90% insurance or 100% fee for service. If you want to just collect extra money, utilize it.
Yeah, no doubt. Can you guys hear me any better now?
You're great.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things. I got to ask you a question. Some of the courses and stuff, really interesting. Some of the courses you're doing, are you doing those mostly online now? I mean,
I was doing a hybrid. Maybe I was an early pioneer. Prior to the pandemic, I did 5. I'm actually happen to be wearing the shirt, this new dentist boost camp. So I said early on in Dental Nachos, I was having nachos with Mrs. Nachos, totally true story. And I was getting all these messages. And as you probably think, and she's right, my wife's like, do you have to be on your phone all the time? And for me, I'm not on my phone because I want to ignore anyone. I'm on my phone because when I have 14 messages and they're banging here, I said, I better just take care of a few, right? Because I know more are going to pile up. I call them tennis balls, like someone throwing tennis balls at you. So I turned to her and I said, all these messages from dentists are like the same. Is the restrictive covenant okay? And know what I say? I say, go ask it on the group. But they say, oh, somebody's going to make fun of me. So I said, what if I could get a place where I could get all these dentists together and answer these questions? And in 2018, I did the new dentist boost camp for dentists 0 to 6 years out of school. We put 20 dentists in a conference room. We put video cameras there. We live streamed it all over the country. We'd have 300 people watch in. So I was doing this hybrid where I like live studio audience, like a sitcom. And I loved it. So I was set up this. Now I really do miss the in-person portion of this. So I'm doing so many lectures. I mean, you talk about Dr. Baird. I always think of you as a great role model. Like you went and did you talk to 42 dental schools?
Yeah.
That was a lot of work because you had to physically move yourself to those 42 dental schools. One of the best things I can do, they invite me to speak. Where I'm sitting now is down the hall from where I live with my family. I just walk down here, turn on my computer. I'm talking to people from UAB. I mean, that's part's awesome. Great. Because I have a 2 and a 6-year-old. Like I'm not going to make it to Colorado to lecture to a dental school, but you do miss the energy. So I think like the Peloton, a hybrid's best. Do some in studio, do some online, do some on demand. So Dental Nachos, that's one of our features. You know, we have on demand, live stream C and live C. So we try to have something for everybody.
That's awesome. I mean, I love that. And matter of fact, you know, all we have done at Productive Dentist Academy has been live programs for the last 16 years. Yeah. And now we're doing these virtual, but I love the fact that there's no reason why we couldn't be doing a live and, you know, a virtual at the same time. Yeah. I mean,
I'm a huge comedy fan, so I just think of it like comedy or sports, you know, create the game and let people watch in on the game. Let them watch in, you know, maybe it's off tangent, but some of these higher education programs, whether it's dental school or college, I don't know how they're charging the same for online learning versus in person, because for me, it's a factor of 10, you know, to come to the new dentist boost camp versus watch it at home. That's how I get more people engaged. If it's 2,000 to come and 200 to watch it at home, I at least can give these people at home a good experience, but maybe one day they want to come live. Like when you want to see your favorite comedian or you want to see a game. That's trying to build that type of community.
That's awesome. Well, you know, one of the things I post some on Facebook. I'm on there a lot, just with different groups and stuff and talking to people. I don't post a lot, but I see you on all the time.
Thanks.
Man, I mean, it's probably nice. The new house we're moving to this next month, I think I'll have a little spot that I'll be able to do something very similar to that where I can, you know, just go.
What is brilliantly amazing about Facebook, and a lot of people call it creepy. My wife would call it creepy to some degree. She's got a little more conspiracy theory stuff with this. So if you watch The Social Dilemma, it unveils that, hey, they're constantly trying to get you to be on your phone. But Gary Vee, who I love, I was listening this morning, ABC, NBC, and CBS was trying to do the same thing in the 80s, right? The papers were trying to do the same thing. So all of this has been around. And what I'm a big fan of, like, one of my personal trainers, he said, and he was good. He says, the hardest exercise is pushing yourself away from the table, right? And that is true. So I have control over how much nachos I eat. I have control over how often I go on this device. So I'm very centered. And what I would share is the reason to post is I don't post nearly as much as people think that I do at all. But what it does is, if you follow Dental Nachos or Paul Goodman or Conversations About Practice, as soon as you log on, they have it waiting for you.
Right.
So they think, and this is a good thing though, for sharing genuine information.
Yeah,
because
I agree.
If you want to share about, hey, collections, post, you don't know when that person's going to see your piece of information. So I think if someone hung around with me, one day I want to do like a hang around with Dr. Nacho video. I spend hours not looking at my phone, hours, right? But people are still seeing posts that I did from yesterday, which I just think is awesome, because I follow Mark Costas, people like you. I like logging in and seeing these people, right? So,
I do too.
I would say, Gary Vee says post 50 or 60 pieces of content a day, whatever you think is good for you. But this doesn't go, guys, just for nachos. This should be for your dental practice. It could be brushing tips. This should be for Instagram. I mean, they've given everybody the ability to have a TV channel in their phone and use it to help people, right? I mean, if you don't want to be in any dental Facebook groups because you think you're going to fight about PPO versus fee for service, fine. Go on your own office Facebook page and start to do content. Go on your own Instagram page. I mean, this is what I'll share. Dentists want to help people, which is great, right?
Yeah.
The only way to help people is to get them to come to your office. So you have to put yourself out there to get them to come to your office and do it in a way that feels right to you.
Yeah.
Well, I love it. I love, there's so much content, and just like you said, Mark, I'm going to have Mark on in a few weeks, I think. But Mark, go down the list, Gary Takix, there's a bunch of guys that have really done a much better job than I have of being there every single, it's like all the time. And I think that's what Stephen and I are working on for what we're doing now, is actually to be on live more.
I mean, you tell yourself,
go ahead, Stephen.
Last week when we were on, you came right off a PDA, doing a PDA Facebook Live. You have a podcast. You're probably one of the best hustlers in the business when it comes to being on these platforms. And like you said, as these things evolve, it's like the dentist doesn't just post on Facebook anymore. They post on their Google business page, their Instagram story, their LinkedIn, all these different things. There's some great dental TikTok videos out there.
Right,
Our compassionate finance doctors down in New Braunfels, Texas. Oh my gosh, he puts out the funniest stuff every day, and I absolutely adore it.
I would tell you, Dr. Baird and Stephen, and I'm someone who's trying to figure things out and learn myself, but what I've learned over 3 years is if you went to a dental office and you got an implant restored, and then the dentist walked up and took your money, and then you saw the dentist cleaning the room, you would think that's crazy. Why doesn't he have a team? Well, same thing for social media. The dentist, someone can create a podcast, but then you need to have some other people who share this podcast.
Yep.
Because just like an assistant at your front desk, that's how you work together to create a story. I mean, we've all been to chef-owned restaurants that just go under because the chef gets too tired.
Yep. That's exactly right. Well, we're working on it, and I'm so glad that we had a chance to visit today, and thank you so much for the kind words about Abella and compassionate finance. And we're continuing. Our company has grown. It's almost grown 50% just during COVID.
Awesome.
So we're really busting out the seams, but thanks for your kind words.
Oh, sure.
And I look forward to meeting you in person.
Me too.
We've talked a lot online.
We
actually met
at the Mark Costas event or the Voices of Dentistry one.
I think it was Voices of Dentistry we met. Yeah.
You can have me back on.
Now
I want my segment to be how to cry less inside. Here, how to take yourself from here to here. This is my thing, right? Cry. So I'll do that segment. Cry less inside with Dr. Nacho.
You got it, buddy. Thanks a lot. Thanks for being on with the call.
Loved it.
All right.
Guys.
Bye. Oh, that's great.